has come. Because aside from the SNAP benefits, I've been thinking about these airline workers, these people that's working in these airports that's not getting paid. This guy that's an airline controller, I saw a clip of him as a black guy saying that he has to go do DoorDash after he finishes his um, work day, you know, 8 to 10 hour work day, being an airline controller. And then he has to go deliver for DoorDash so he can pay his bills. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've delivered with DoorDash and I've done Postmates and I've done other things. And sometimes it's hard for those orders to always come through. I've been noticing where I live now because when I lived in other places, I would get decent orders. But I'm starting to realize money is definitely energy. I already know it's energy, but money can be blocked. You can have a blockage and it can stop your flow of money. Money is literally energy. And so no matter how hard, what kind of a good person you are, how hard you try, sometimes money can be blocked. And I say that to say, even with DoorDash and Grubhub and all that stuff, sometimes it can be times when no orders come in and everybody else seems to get the orders and you can be sitting around for 4 or 5 hours not getting orders. It depends on where you are, where you are, you know. And where I am over here, DoorDash and Uber Eats and all that stuff, that does not work for me. Now, other places where I've lived before, I would get nonstop orders, but you don't get paid a whole lot. So it's still about with DoorDash, you know, you working 8 hours and might get about maybe 200, 150, 200 a day. Now Grubhub and Uber Eats, you get paid like any other regular work day. You know, Uber Eats about if you nonstop delivering food, it can be 500 a day, 400 a day. It's like working in any other job, and sometimes you get paid more with Uber Eats than working some of these other jobs that pay minimum wage. You know, but you have to get the orders coming in though. The orders have to come in. And but I want to get back to this airline controller. He's already working a full day being an airline controller, and then he has to take the rest of his day that he should be resting because it's only 24 hours in a day. That's why I don't even agree with 24 hours in a day. I need at least 36 hours. Actually, I'm not doing that much, but when I am busy, I would like more than 24 hours in a day. I purposely try to make it so I have 2 to 3 days off a week. Okay. Um, but he doesn't even hardly have time to rest, and he's an airline controller. Okay. And he doesn't hardly have time to rest, and he has a family to take care of. That's just not going to work. And the other people in TSA, you know, trying to make everybody else comfortable while they're not getting paid. Here's my thing. I'm just going to have to be selfish. I'm just going to have to be selfish. Nobody else should be comfortable if I'm uncomfortable. I'm just saying. Because now I'm hearing that, and I'm not talking about uncomfortable like, you know, some days you might not feel good. You might have like slight headache. Okay, sometimes we go to work with headaches, but we still go do our job. Sometimes, you know, other things, stuff can happen in our life, you know, personal stuff, right? You can have personal stuff. This right here, that's not personal. It's personal, but it's not personal. It should be everybody's problem that these people are not getting paid. It should be everybody's problem. It really should. It's not a personal problem because they're not getting paid, but they come to work knowing that they can't pay their bills, but they're going to make somebody else comfortable who's able to pay for their flights and able to pay their mortgages or rent. You're going to make their life comfortable where nobody's making your life comfortable. You got to go work a different. No, 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 no. In that case, everybody should be uncomfortable. Everybody, I really feel like everybody need to quit the doggone, like just quit right now. Because now I just heard that they might not even get back pay. See, I can see that they were trying to hold on because they can get at least a month or 2 weeks or whatever. Whenever the check stopped coming in, I think Tuesday was the last time they were getting paid, last Tuesday, which was the last week in October 2025, whatever day that was, I think, the last day of their pay. And They're just working and working and working, and they have to work extra jobs because the rent doesn't stop. The mortgage, they have to continue to pay mortgage. See, there's a serious problem with humanity when you know a group of people that's working for the government and they're not getting paid because of a government shutdown, but you don't even have a heart enough to waive or whatever their mortgage, or no, it said no, the bills don't stop. Well, then they need to stop and go find somewhere else to work, because either way they're not getting paid. They might not even get back pay. You never know when it's going to stop. This might go all the way into February. How long are you going to be able to take this? A lot of people are going to die from fatigue. I was listening to Lovely T, and she was talking about around Cleveland. It was almost a plane crash. It was almost like a couple of planes crashing into each other. They're tired. They're tired. People have these kind of jobs are too important for them to have to be stressed out over how they're going to pay their bills, and they got to go work another job when it's only 24 hours in a day, and some of them have families, and then they got to get back to work and not get paid. Like, that's not going to work. And other people should not be sitting around comfortable while these other folks are just working for free. And I get it's nothing you can jump up and do about it, but I think it can be something that's done about it when all of them just need to quit their job. Right? All of them need to just walk out at once. I'm just saying that all of them, like, it needs to be a mass. It needs to be an airport shutdown, because everybody that's calling themselves, oh, we got to wait for 6 hours. You know what? Guess what? You still get a paycheck. Okay, you got to wait for 6 hours. Okay, you miss your flight. Guess what? You're still able to pay your rent. Guess what? You're still able to pay your. See, the lack of gratitude is ridiculous. I would not complain about being in the airport, being delayed, knowing goodness well that I always have a place to lay my head because my bills are paid. I'm not going to be concerned that I'm laying somewhere for 6 and 7 hours. Oh, look at that line. What the fuck? You still get a paycheck. Whatever. See, the Americans are spoiled as shit. I get that the lines are long, but you still get to pay your doggone bills. If I was that worker hearing somebody complain about how long they got to stay in line, I'm like, well, how long do I have to wait before I see a dang check? Because I'm about to be evicted. And now it's about to be illegal to be homeless. So I got to work for free because of a government shutdown. And now it's about to be illegal to be homeless. And you fussing about how long you got to sit in the doggone line. That's the doggone Americans. United States Americans are very spoiled. And that's why I'm saying that they all just need to, I really feel like all these employees need to stop right now. I don't care. They need to, like, because now I just heard that they're not going to get any back pay. It might be true, it might not be true, but now I'm hearing that they might not even get back pay for all the times they've been working. They won't even get compensated for it. So they basically just volunteering. They're volunteering at this point to make somebody else's life comfortable who's able to pay their bills. And these people are going to have to go and live in a shelter. They can't even, some of them say they don't even have enough gas to keep it in their car because they need to make money to put gas in their car. And if they're not making money, they can't keep putting gas in their car to drive to work. So they're not going to be able to make it because they're not going to be able to pay for Uber. Sometimes it's hard to get a bus, or it depends on where you live. It's hard to get a bus to come to your house to take you to the airport because everybody don't live in a doggone city. Okay, so I think people are not getting how serious this is. The abuse. This is abuse at this point. And with the SNAP benefits, that's abuse too. But everybody keeps talking about that. That's why I'm not on SNAP, because everybody's talking about it. And you know, some of the main people I was here talking about online that's talking about looting somewhere, they are able-bodied. They can go find what's happened. What's with their families? Do they not have families? Do they not have each other? Do they not have something that they can do to make up for at least 2 months of food? Like, you didn't lose your job. You just lost, if you have a job, because a lot of people that's on SNAP do have a job. You didn't lose your job. You just don't have benefits for a month or 2 months. And not to say that's not bad, but at the same time, it's not like you're missing a check. For the people who are able to work. It's not like they are missing a check, because the people that's talking about they're going to rob something are able-bodied people who are able to run. Okay, you know, able-bodied people. So you can go figure out somewhere you and your family could do something to problem solve and figure out how you're going to have food to cover the next 2 to 3 to 4 months. But these doggone people at the doggone, and I don't want to minimize that, but I'm just saying, these people at the doggone that's working in the doggone airports are working for free. They're volunteering, and now they won't even get back pay. So what the heck is going on? Like, this is a whole economic shutdown. And I'm gonna end this with this. It's just going to let this. It's time to go and let this go. I've already made my decision of what I'm going to do for next year. Making different plans and things on what I'm going to do for next year. But I'm not going to be running all over the place, really working somebody else's job full time. Now, if you don't have a choice but to do that for right now, that's going to be on you, because you need time to make plans. And if you don't have time to make plans, you can't just take off like that. I get that, because I've been in that position before. Well, I just couldn't stop. I had to go work for somebody else, But now I'm getting to a point where things can come in order where I don't have to. Okay. But at the same time, I don't want to hold on to this. I don't want to hold on to this realm any longer, because everybody's getting hit with this. So people's insurance premiums going up. Medicare might get hit. Medicaid is getting hit. Medi-Cal, all this stuff is getting hit. A lot of people losing their job. A lot of people it's like it's going to get to a point where you can't even have your business, because they are shutting down everything. It's going to get to a point where you can't even, if you have a business, it's not going to be successful. If everybody else is losing their doggone job and money, then you can't be successful. You can't be but so successful unless most of your clients are going to be in China or something. If most of your clients are going to be United States Americans and everybody getting laid off, your business might not be that successful. So everybody needs to start caring about other people and what they're going through. And at this point, when you hear people talk, just look at how long the line is and how they missing their flights. Okay, but look at the people who might be evicted and might be staying in a shelter but still got to show up for work. At least you don't have to go to no shelter. At worst, you just miss your flight. At the worst, you just miss your flight. But at least you can pay your doggone mortgage. At least you can pay your rent. At least you can put gas in your car. And at least you can put food on your table. I mean, find some kind of gratitude, because these people that's coming to work every day and working for free, they might be in a doggone shelter. And it's hard to get into it's really, really hard to get into a shelter. It's not that easy. So that means they're going to have to sleep in their car. But the problem with sleeping in their car is, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I slept in my car once or twice. In the winter, you're going to have to keep your heat on. It's cold. So you're going to have to need some kind of battery operated heater or something in your car, because you can't keep it running all night. See, it's hard. Like, I really feel like a lot of workers, it's time to just go on and walk out. Like, let everybody else who want to take these flights, they need to understand your pain. Because right now, your problem should be everybody. It should be their problem. It's not a personal problem. Well, I don't want to just make somebody else day bad because what's going on with me. Absolutely not. You are not getting paid. You're working for free. And then you won't even get back paid, probably. And you should not have to make somebody else's life comfortable. Okay? Because the mortgages don't care. Why? Nobody is trying to make their life comfortable. They still got to pay the mortgage. They still got to pay the rent. They still got to pay the utility bills or everything. Nobody else is caring. So when you're going through this amid a government shutdown and you're going through this and nobody else cares about you, you should not care about other people. People need to care about one another. So if you're uncomfortable, other people need to be uncomfortable right along with you. They should not be comfortably getting on those flights while you cannot pay your daggone mortgage. I'm sorry. It needs to be a mass walk out of the airlines and no flights, period. Everybody needs to walk out. Now, they probably going to replace it with a bunch of AIs, but so what? So what? Why? Since you're not going to get paid anyway, stop working there. They're not going to give you back pay. and you don't know when this stuff is going to end, just take time off and sit home and take time to appreciate. You can't even take time to appreciate life. Like you can't even appreciate the sun. You can't appreciate nothing because you got to go to work, not get paid. The lines are long because people not showing up to work. And so the lines are long is putting more stress on you. And then you got to go work a second job because you're not getting paid at the first job that you don't spend all your energy on. Now you got to use up whatever energy you got left to work a second job to pay your bills. These people are going to die. They're going to die of fatigue. And I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm saying that because I'm kind of pissed. I'm saying that because I'm slightly pissed. I'm pissed. Obviously, the government shutdown is a whole mess, but I'm really pissed at the world, not really, United States of America specifically. I'm really pissed at United States citizens, especially the ones that's taking all these flights, not taking it serious enough. Like, you worried about your flights? You worried about standing in line for you worried about being at the airport for 6 hours? Like, that's what they don't, like, they might die from fatigue because after they work 8 to 10 hours, they got to go do something else to make sure they pay their bills. They're going to end up dying in like 2 months. They're not going to live long. Okay. So these people, I really think it needs to be a mass. Just close the airlines down. You can't figure it out. People don't need to show up to work. If you cannot figure it out, people don't need to show up to work. And fine, replace everything with AI. That's what you want to do anyway. But it's time to sit down and reflect on your life. Well, you got a month or two of your mortgage left before you end up homeless. At least sit down, use those a month or whatever to just sit down and don't do nothing but think about your life. That's it. Okay? But with that being said, I'm going to go and I'll talk to you later. Okay.